Okay. Shane, you know, it's within touching distance now, the first Ashes test. Excited, of course.
Absolutely, yeah. There's only just under a week to go now leading into the first test, so hopefully things continue to progress well with my comeback from injury, and I'll be ready to go for Thursday.
Okay, just when you are preparing, obviously one of the things you've got to make sure is right are your bats, and just tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been very lucky with Gunn and Moore to be able to be with them for 4 or 5 years now, and there's no doubt that how important good bats are. And the one great thing about my bats at Gunn and Moore as well is that, well, my test bat I normally can use for at least 12 months. I only use it in game, so my best bats always last long periods of time. So you get confidence up using one bat, and you know it's an unbelievable bat when you go out there. So it gives you that little bit more confidence, and even into one day in 2020 cricket when you are hitting the ball. You're trying to hit the ball a lot harder and taking the bowlers on. It does put a lot more pressure on your bat. So, I'm very lucky that my bats do last for long periods of time. And even the one that I've got here at the moment is my 2020, my one-day bat that I've been using since April last year. So it's had a few running repairs, which I always do make sure I try and continue to get as much life as I can out of my bats. And so the toe's been fixed up a couple of times. The edges and the faces have been fixed up a lot, which is getting pretty soft now as well. So, but when you know this is a bat that I used in the 2020 World Cup last year, and when you go out to bat knowing that you've got a great bat in your hand, it gives you that extra confidence to know, if I have to take this guy on, which you do in 2020s, I know if I half get it, then it's going to go for 6. So it's always a nice feeling to be able to know that you've got a great bat in your hand, to be able to have that confidence, because it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, as you say, it's almost like a bit of a safety blanket. You know, you do get attached to your bat, don't you?
Absolutely, and that's why you try and continue to give it as much life as you possibly can. And it does feel at times, especially with this bat, in 2020 cricket and one-day cricket, but especially 2020 cricket, you do need to have that confidence that if I need to hit a boundary, especially if I need to hit a 6, that if I half get it, it's gonna go. And throughout the 2020 World Cup as well, it felt like if I didn't have this bat, that I wasn't going to be the same player. That the balls that I was hitting that were just going over the fence, if I didn't get it, that if I had a lesser bat, then I was going to get caught, and I was going to get caught on the fence. So it is a safety blanket. It provides, walking out to bat knowing that you've got a great bat, just gives that extra confidence, especially when you do need it. In 2020 cricket, for example, is you've got no choice. You've got to be confident, otherwise you're going to get found out.
It almost sounds like you're surprised at, just considering how much you do whack them, the longevity of the bats, whether it be one day, 2020 or Test cricket. These bats almost surprise you with, as I say, the resilience.
Yeah, well, absolutely, and that's where I really do look after my bats. I only use my really good bats in game time. I don't use them in the nets or anything like that, where there's a chance of one breaking it, but also only, I suppose, letting game time into these bats, and especially when you find a good one, you want to hold on to it as long as you possibly can, and that's why there's a lot of running repairs on it to be able to make sure it continues to get through. And to think a bat can last for 18 months, especially in 2020 and one-day cricket, when you are certainly testing out the boundaries of your bat, and bowlers are trying to bowl Yorkers, and where there's a chance of breaking your bat. It's held together unbelievably well, and it is dead now. It's just about done its done its job. There's no doubt about that. But to think that I'm not going to use this again certainly is, you get attached to it. So it is, you do get pretty emotionally attached to the bats.
Okay, I think Will might be jealous about that bat, maybe.
No, nothing to worry about there.
Okay, now we'll get down to me.
Yep.
You're right. They gave me some questions, but I
That was perfect.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, good. I can use the whole. Yeah, but Jimmy, the last one. Will be jealous because he's so attached.